Hello everyone. Today we will talk about one of the greatest Muslim scientists. Can you guess who he is? He is Sir Ibn Al-Haytham. Welcome to our today's event. Ibn Al-Haytham, the father of optics. Intro. In a world shrouded by medieval darkness and superstition, one man dared to question everything and trust only what could be proven through experiment and mathematics. This is the story of the man who invented the scientific method centuries before the European Renaissance. The first true scientist, Abu Ali al-Hassan ibn al-Hassan ibn al-Haytham, Ibn al-Haytham, the father of optics, born in Basra, Iraq in 965 during the golden age of Islamic civilization, and dying in Cairo, Egypt in 1040. Ibn al-Haytham lived in an era when knowledge was treasured, and scholars were revered. Yet even among intellectual giants, he stood apart. But who was this extraordinary man whose discoveries were so profound that NASA named a crater on the moon after him? And why have so few in the Western world heard his name? Section 1. The Revolutionary. Narrator. Ibn al-Haytham wasn't just interested in one field. He mastered many. Astronomy, mathematics, physics, medicine, engineering, and philosophy all fell under his brilliant gaze. But it was his revolutionary work in optics that would change science forever. Before Ibn al-Haytham, the ancient Greeks believed that our eyes emitted rays that allowed us to see objects, a theory endorsed by intellectual giants like Euclid and Ptolemy. For nearly 1,000 years, no one dared challenge this established wisdom. No one except Ibn al-Haytham. In his masterwork, Kitab al-Manazir, the Book of Optics, written while under house arrest, Ibn al-Haytham methodically demolished the Greek theory. Through careful experimentation with light, mirrors, and lenses, he proved that vision occurs when light rays reflect from objects and enter our eyes, not the other way around. This wasn't just a correction, it was a complete paradigm shift that laid the foundation for everything we understand about optics today. Section 2. The first scientist. But Ibn al-Haytham's greatest contribution wasn't any single discovery. It was his method. 600 years before Francis Bacon and René copyright Descartes, Ibn al-Haytham developed the scientific method as we know it today. Systematic observation, hypothesis formation, experimentation, and mathematical proof. The seeker after truth is not one who studies the writings of the ancients and, following his natural disposition, puts his trust in them, but rather the one who suspects his faith in them and questions what he gathers from them, the one who submits to argument and demonstration. In these words, written in the 11th century, we find the essence of scientific inquiry, a radical for his time, and still the bedrock of science today. Section 3. Discoveries and inventions. From his understanding of optics came remarkable innovations. Ibn al-Haytham was the first to accurately describe the camera obscura, the pinhole camera, explaining how light creates inverted images. He conducted the first experiments with light refraction, discovered that rainbows are caused by sunlight refracting through water droplets, and correctly explained twilight as sunlight bouncing off atmospheric particles. He studied the mechanics of spherical and parabolic mirrors. He analyzed lenses and magnification. He even performed the first dissections of eyes to understand their anatomy. In mathematics, he was equally brilliant, developing analytical geometry and beginning to formulate calculus centuries before Newton and Leibniz. Section 4. The unknown genius. But here's what few people know about Ibn al-Haytham. He calculated the height of Earth's atmosphere centuries before modern instruments existed. He was the first to state that a ray of light in a given medium travels along the path that takes the least time, anticipating Fermat's principle by 600 years. He challenged Ptolemy's geocentric model of the universe, paving the way for the Copernican revolution. And perhaps most surprisingly, he appears to have understood aspects of gravity and inertia, writing, "A body moves perpetually unless an external force stops it or changes its direction of motion," remarkably close to Newton's first law. But there's one fact about Ibn al-Haytham that might surprise you most. Dramatic pause. Despite his genius, he was extraordinarily humble. After realizing he couldn't engineer a dam on the Nile as promised to Egypt's ruler, he feigned madness to escape punishment. He then used his decade under house arrest to write his most important works. Section 5. Legacy. Today, Ibn Al-Haytham's legacy surrounds us everywhere. Montage of cameras, eyeglasses, telescopes, microscopes, every camera, every pair of eyeglasses, every telescope and microscope owes a debt to his pioneering work in optics. The scientific method itself at the foundation of all modern knowledge bears his fingerprints, and yet, his name remains unfamiliar to many. Closing. In 2015, UNESCO celebrated the 1000th anniversary of his Book of Optics. The International Year of Light honored him as one of history's greatest scientists. Perhaps now, a millennium after his death, Ibn Al-Haytham is finally receiving the recognition he deserves as the father of optics, the pioneer of the scientific method, and quite possibly, the world's first true scientist. Final quote appears on screen, quoting Ibn Al-Haytham: "Truth is sought for itself, but the truths are immersed in uncertainties. The true seeker of truth must be willing to question everything." Portrait of Ibn Al-Haytham dates 9651040. Ibn Al-Haytham, a light in the dark ages, illuminating the path to modern science. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Share this video with your friends, it really helps us grow. Keep me in your prayers. See you in the next one, coming soon.